In this video, 3 reasons to keep your banana and your papaya in your pants, unless, of course, it's a special someone. Because, you know, let's face it, we're living in a world where hookup culture is glorified. And I'm talking, you know, specifically the Western world, North America and Europe. The hookup culture is glorified, and you see this in the movies. This idea gets implanted in your head from a young age, especially if you're a male. The idea that your masculinity and your alphaness is determined by how many girls you bang, right? We all know that idea, right? We've all been exposed to that idea. I certainly have in my teenage years. That was the thing to be cool as a man, you know? How many girls did you bang, right? And this is very much in the heart of the frat boy culture in colleges and universities all across North America and Europe, and of course other parts of the world. Yeah, hookup culture is glorified. You see this in the dating apps. You see the way they're designed. They're designed to actually implant this in your head, so you look at people and you just see them as objects and swipe, 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 and it's very much how do you look. And you know, yeah, it's glorified. I don't need to go any further than that, okay? And I'm gonna give you in this video 3 reasons why you should be keeping the banana for a special someone, why you should be keeping the papaya for a special someone. Okay, so reason number 1, when you're going around, sleeping around, what's happening, and whether you know this or not, it is happening, is you're picking up parasites, bacteria, and all kinds of organisms. You're bringing all kinds of destructive organisms into your system. Because let me tell you, most people in society are sick. Most people in society, they need stimulants like coffee to get going. They're eating terrible food. They're taking terrible, you know, I'm trying to watch my language here because of the censorship. You know, big PHARMA, big pharma, with all their drugs, right? With all the things they're giving people that are causing all kinds of wrecking havoc throughout the human system. Okay, basically all of society is medicated. All of society is eating like garbage. All of society is sick. They're living on stimulants. Yeah, their endocrine system, their nervous system is completely disrupted. They have all kinds of destructive organisms, destructive bacteria, destructive parasites. And what happens when you're going around and you're kissing random people, as many people, you know, and when you're, you know, banging them, right? Man, especially, I mean, that's why things like, you know, sexually transmitted diseases exist, of course. Right? It's what we're talking about here. The parasitic and destructive bacteria. It's transmitting, and it transmits very easily. So essentially, here you are, likely a sick person as you are, and you're like, I'm gonna go get sicker by sleeping around with other people. And you're catching all kinds of diseases and all kinds of things. Sometimes you're aware of it, like, oh man, what is this herpes looking thing? Oh my god, it is herpes. Right? And other times you're just like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I wonder why I have a flu. Oh, you know, and you don't know. Yeah, of course, you're going around, you're gonna pick up all kinds of things. All kinds of things. So you're destroying your body. You're destroying the sacred temple by sleeping around with random people. Okay, so that's reason number 1. Let's go on to reason number 2. It is a waste of productive energy, creative energy, also known as sexual energy. Let me tell you this. 20 years from now, if let's say all you did is you spend your 20s and your 30s sleeping around, and it's 40, you're 40 now. You look back, you say, wow, I had sex with 500 women or 500 men. Good for me. Are you gonna look at that and be like, yeah, buddy, high five, I'm proud? You know, because you're even gonna have your college buddies. They're not even gonna be there anymore giving you a high five for banging this chick and banging that chick, right? Or are you gonna be like, man, what a waste. I mean, this is known as a midlife crisis. What a waste. I wish I built a business and made $1 million and donated half of that at charity. Or I wish I pursued my passion. I wish I figured out what my passion in life is, and I wish I did that. Chances are, when you hit your 40s, that's known as the midlife crisis, you're gonna look back and wish you were more productive with your sexual energy. Because look, sexual energy is creative energy. It can create a baby, a child. It can create a beautiful piece of music. It can create a beautiful piece of art. It can create these videos. It can go and read and educate itself. That's sexual energy. Whenever we're being productive, whenever we're being creative in any aspect of life, in any area, we are being sexual. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna look around? You're gonna look back and say, well, 500 though, my life is shit. I'm miserable, but 500. I slept with 500 women. You're looking around for your college buddies, waiting for that high five. It's not there anymore. What a waste! What a waste! What a waste of sexual energy. What a waste of creative energy. What a waste of productive energy. To not only going around sleeping with others, but pursuing it. You know how much time you spend? How much young people these days, how much of their conscious waking hours they're spending looking for other people to rub genitals with? To use their bodies for a short-term, temporary pleasure that actually, ends up draining your life force. And of course, most people going around sleeping around, they're ejaculating also. So their life force is constantly being drained. So that's reason number 2. Don't be wasteful. Okay? Go do something productive for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones, for the world. And trust me, you're gonna look back if you do that and you're gonna be like, yes, you're gonna feel this fulfillment, satisfaction inside of you. Okay? Now, reason number 3 to me, this one probably is the most important one to me, okay, in my perspective. And that is, whenever you engage in the intimate act of sex with another person, it's like, okay, you are going to pick up their traumas, their unhealed wounds, and possibly demons, which come in the form of traumas, really. But you can pick up, like, you can actually become possessed by another negative, fourth dimensional, fourth density entity when you are engaged in the act of sexual intimacy with someone else. I'm going to explain 2 things here. A, it is exactly like putting the USB inside the computer and transmitting information from the USB into the computer. Okay, it's the same thing. In fact, it's funny because it's the same act. Yeah, the USB goes in, and it's screwing the computer. It's hilarious. As above, so below, as within, so that it's absolutely hilarious. Okay, it's the same thing. You go in, and there's information exchange, and it's going both ways. So you could take from the computer data, put it on the USB, and you could take data from the USB and put it on the computer. And what happens when you're having sex with someone? You are transmitting a shit ton of information, guys, back and forth. Unhealed wounds, unhealed traumas, addictions. If, let's say, you go have sex with a random person, let's say she smokes, yeah? You're gonna pick up on that addiction on a subtle level. It doesn't mean you're gonna start smoking, but it means you're more likely to smoke. It's called epigenetics, by the way, which is a little different thing, but it works the same way. You're gonna pick up on that addiction. You're gonna be more likely to smoke. If that person loves the certain junk food, they have a particular parasite that's constantly asking for that junk food. You pick up that parasite, suddenly, for some weird reason, you're craving particularly Bounty chocolate bars. Something you never even craved ever. Go figure, right? So what you're doing, you're transmitting information, and you're transmitting so much is happening because the sexual act is like your brainwave goes down to alpha and theta. This is the state of receptivity. You can learn in that state, but you can also, you're receptive. Your subconscious mind is more open. And the subconscious mind receives anything, receives positivity in, receives negativity in. If you're having sex with someone that has a wonderful auric field, a wonderful energy to them, that can affect you in a positive way. It can go into your subconscious and it can be healing. This is known as sexual healing, right? If you're, however, going around sleeping indiscriminatory with random strangers and random people, what are you picking up? That's what I'm gonna. What are you picking up? What kind of demons are you picking up? What kind of addiction patterns are you picking up? What kind of entities? You know, those entities. You know, if someone has those negative entities in them, right? Those are entities you can't see, but they're spiritual parasites that leech onto a host, especially if that host has a lot of like weaknesses in their auric field. So if the host in this case would be the human body, right? If that host has a lot of like weaknesses, they have a lot of weaknesses, a lot of addictions, that spiritual parasite can leech and just feed off the suffering and the pain of that being. And you can actually pick up those entities. Really, you can pick up those entities, especially if that entity figures, whoa, that host is gonna be a better host. It's gonna feed me more suffering and more pain. It can just simply transmit. Okay? There could be several entities in that person that you're having sex with, and they could just, a couple of them can just decide, hey, I'm jumping ships here. There's more pain and suffering that can feed me from that human. That host is more suited, more suffering, more pain. I see they have more addictions, more weaknesses. I mean, this is why the evil doers in this world, the evil forces are, and one of the reasons they're spreading this hookup culture everywhere. They're supporting it. They're supporting it through the media. They're supporting it through money, because they know the negative consequences and implications, because their objective is to control humanity, is to keep humanity in control. You see? So, yeah, so that's it. That's it, all right? If you like this content, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you.